Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm here with this very interesting hawthorn, Crategus. So Crategus is one of the beautiful species that are native of Europe, but especially we can find a good example of hawthorn in UK, in England. This one especially was collected in Wales, and you can see from the movement that this tree was collected probably in a field where cows and other animals for years and years were eating it and created this interesting material. As soon as I see this material, it reminds me the beautiful raft style hawthorn from my friend Tony Tickle that a few years ago actually won the deciduous category at the Noelander Trophy, and I really love that tree. So in the next year I was always looking for a material, good to do a raft style. So when I was in Germany to my students, Rudy and René, and I saw this material in their yard, I tried to acquire it because I have the idea of making one nice raft style. So you see the tree is very good character, lot of nice branches, very old branches. Some of them already they re-root in the soil, and we have kind of a main trunk here. At the moment everything is very flat down. I have to lift it up a little bit to give a nice character, especially to this part, otherwise it will look too much horizontal. I need to create a little bit more hierarchy. I will work some of this part as gin, not much because obviously on a deciduous tree we don't make too many gin, but I want to give some ancient character from some of these old stumps. But before start working on the tree, what I want to do is repot the tree and try to find the correct angle. I don't want to work this tree thinking, okay, I'm gonna lift up in this side or I'm gonna use this front, and then at the moment of positioning in the pot will be impossible to do that. So I have to work together with the repotting and the chances I have to, inclinate and find the good angle to really highlight the potential of the tree. I want to show some area like this part that is twisting back. It will be, the idea is to have a kind of a windswept raft style with this tree. Probably I will use this front and try to lift it up a little bit so I can also see the rest of the ramification coming out from the different areas. But another option could be use this side where I can basically see more of the trunk and eventually remove this section and create a raft style from this part. I need to take the tree out, check the roots and try to seat the tree into the bonsai container. I have already a couple of options for the container that I'm gonna show you, and then decided that I will set the tree into the new pot and wire the branch. Because this is a deciduous tree, will be easy to do repotting and styling because it's just fine wiring and positioning together. Something I don't do on conifers. So let's start taking the tree out of the pot and checking the root ball. I have two beautiful option as a future bonsai pot for this tree. A little bit bigger one here that I think will really match with the position of the trunks to be able to have everything inside, but I have also a smaller version. I can try and see if it works. Both good glaze tokoname pots. So let's see, let's take the tree out. I will prepare both of them with the nets, the screen and the wire, and then take the tree out and try some setting to see the good angle view and the good front. Just took out the tree from the original pot, checking the root ball. There is a good root ball. I chopped a couple of roots so I could also show a little bit more the base of the main trunk. I can actually lift it up a little bit more so I can give more interest to this section. Open up here and see some of the trunks in the back. And then this could be a good back of the tree. I have good trunks in this position. You see, we put back the anchor here just to lift up a little bit and give the idea of this is more or less the idea I have in mind. See these movements, good back, and then move these branches there. And then, as you can see here, I have good depth with all these trunks. This is the option with the smaller pot. I like this much better because with just a little bit more effort, you see I can still chop back these roots. I have inner roots here, create an ankle. I can highlight more the base of the tree and this movement, having more of these branches running out of the line of the pot, lifting up this section and probably bending some of these areas down. So doing that I can create more dynamism and I can show a little bit more the power of the trunk on this smaller pot. I still have a room for soil, and as you can see the tree look very proportionate. So I'm gonna go for this pot, set the tree inside, fix it and everything, and then we're gonna start from there for the styling. At this point, the tree is set into the new pot. I'm happy some of the base came out, tilting the tree up, give a little bit more line to the main trunk, and also tilting the tree clockwise. I was able to show a little bit of this nice elbow. I used this start of a gin, probably this was root of a branch when the tree was collected. I'm gonna reduce this part and create a gin. Create a gin here where we have the original chop. Remove some of the knobs to keep more line to the trunk, and then wire all the branches, start creating the nice structure. I'm happy about this area where we can see the nice movements of the other section, and also here we can have a good idea of the back of the tree and a good depth. I'm going to show you a little bit the tree. Good depth with these two branches and these branches here, and the tree nice coming up, and probably at the end I will anchor with a wire and push down on this section a little bit more, anchoring here. Just finishing wiring all the branches, so we can just sit in front of the tree and then style. Generally, when we wired, we thought about the movement on the branches to the left side, so we can have the wire pushing the branches in the direction we want. Still struggling with the hand around the thorns with William, brave William, but we're getting everything wired, and then we start setting the tree and sitting the tree on a higher stand and start moving the lower trunks to give the first flow to the left and then following up all the rest of the green. Now that everything is wired, I want to start moving down these trunks. So I put a couple of guy wire in the back part of the tree. Want to anchor over the top here. And then while I bend them down, I secure my anchor. So by doing this, I want to highlight the movement and having more these trunks dynamic to the left part. You see here, one. I also put a piece of wire there. And then I want also to move down a little bit this guy here. So I want to go up and anchor to the wire inside of this elbow. Move up this guy here. I don't want to push down too much this trunk, so I will hide the other one, but I want to just give a little bit of extra movement. Here we are. This can go down a little bit more. Now. So doing this, I can create more negative space where I can put the branches, and then now I can start working from the lower part and going up to the main apex. Start moving this section. So I have still a branch that need to be wired here. I loop around the trunk so I can give a little bit of strength, and then I can still use this wire to go down in this area and anchor here, so I can create a nice movement to that branch, and at that moment I have branches in this position to keep going with the nice wavy to the direction of the wind, increasing the drama of the entire composition. And also doing that, I have a piece of wire pushing against the thicker one, and I don't damage the main bark. When I move the branches, I try to weight them up and down, and right and left. Another secret to have an interesting shape for a windswept is also to have upper branches a little bit further than some lower one. So doing that we can increase the feeling of movement, because everything aesthetically on a windswept is about the dynamism. More dynamism we can create while we shape the branches, better will be for the overall final result. While I take care of the branches, William put the cut paste where we open new shari lines. We have always to remember this is a deciduous tree. We have to protect the cambium by dehydratation, and it's good to recreate a little bit of extra healing on those parts, so the tree will look even better with more character. I'm already happy about the halfway through the setting of the branches. Now we can go through and finish up with the back of the tree and the right part. That will be a little bit more complicated. We have to focus and highlight this line, and using these long new lines try to create a nice movement there, always giving the impression of the wind. And here we are with the final product, a dynamic, nice hawthorn, rough style, windswept. Too many things, but this is what came out from this project. I think it's nice, I love the flow, I love all the movement. Having the raft going all in one direction with only this piece here, I think it was a good idea to follow the flow, highlight the movement of the main branches and trunks, show this nice twist with all the branches windsweeping in the same direction. Will be now a work on putting up with the new growth. Everything coming from this direction need to be cut away, and always increase nice short branches that will create a nice dynamism plus a good maturity of this tree. I think from the front we are able to see all the beautiful movement of this section, also pushing down some of the main branches. We was even more able to highlight the overall dynamism. So for now that's it. The tree will go in the greenhouse and be protected. It's early spring, so we don't want to risk some freezing will damage the delicate root ball. we'll put the tree in the greenhouse, and only when the tree will flesh out and the temperature will be more stable, I will put it out and keep developing this interesting tree. Thank you so much for following this episode. See you at the next. Fucking thorns.
Bonsai Dream.